The sky above the city burned red with flames and smoke. Explosions shook the ground as enemy ships fired down upon the alien world of Volterra. Buildings crumbled, and people ran in fear. In the middle of this chaos was Princess Zirala, only 10 years old, trapped under a heavy beam in the ruins of the palace. She cried softly, her small hands trying to push the debris away. But it was too heavy. Her guards were nowhere in sight. The battle had been fierce, and many had fallen or fled. Zirala's heart pounded as the sound of approaching footsteps grew louder. She looked up, hoping for help, but the figure that appeared was not one of her people. It was a human soldier, wearing a worn uniform and carrying a rifle. His face was tired but determined. "Hold on, Princess," the man said calmly. He quickly moved to lift the beam, using all his strength. The debris shifted, and Zirala squeezed through the small space he created. The soldier pulled her into his arms and shielded her from falling rubble. "We have to get out of here," he said. Zirala nodded, trusting him even though she did not know who he was. They ran through the burning streets, dodging blasts and falling debris. The soldier's knowledge of the city was surprising. He led her to a hidden tunnel beneath the palace, a secret passage known only to the royal family. The tunnel was dark and narrow, but it was safe. Outside, the battle raged on. The soldier paused and looked back toward the flames. "I don't belong here," he muttered. "But I couldn't leave you behind." Zirala looked up at him with wide eyes. "Why did you save me?" He smiled faintly. "Because no one deserves to be left alone, not even a princess." They moved quickly through the tunnel until they reached a clearing in the forest. There, a small human ship waited, engines humming softly. The soldier helped Zirala aboard and prepared to leave. Before he climbed in, Zirala held out her hand. "Will I see you again?" The soldier shook his head gently. "I don't know. But remember this, there is always hope, even in the darkest times." With that, the ship lifted off and vanished into the stars. Zirala watched the sky, clutching a small pendant the soldier had given her, a symbol of friendship between two very different worlds. Though she was safe now, her heart was heavy with the loss of her home and her people. Years later, as she grew into a strong leader, the memory of the brave human soldier who saved her remained alive in her mind. She wondered who he was and hoped that one day their paths would cross again. Years passed since the day Princess Zirala was rescued. The once young girl had grown into a strong and wise leader. Now she stood tall as the future queen of the Volteri Empire. But her heart still held the memory of the human soldier who saved her, a stranger who showed kindness in a time of fear. The galaxy had changed since that terrible battle. The war between the Volteri and humans had finally ended, but the peace was fragile. Many still did not trust one another. Old wounds had not healed, and rumors of new conflicts whispered in the shadows. Zirala often sat in her private chambers, looking out over the stars. She kept the small pendant the soldier had given her, a symbol of hope and friendship. It was her most treasured possession. She wondered about the human who had risked everything to save her. Who was he? Where was he now? In the halls of her palace, advisors and diplomats came and went. They urged her to be careful, to keep humans at a distance. Many saw humans as unpredictable and dangerous. Yet Zirala believed there was something different about that soldier, something good. She had quietly asked her spies and contacts across the galaxy to search for him, but no one had found any trace. Aaron Carter, the name she had heard once, was just a whisper in the vast stars. Meanwhile, on Earth, Aaron lived a different life. He was now a captain in the human space forces. His experience in the war had made him cautious, but he never forgot the small alien girl who needed help. Sometimes he looked at a worn photograph of her, the only picture he had, and wondered if she had grown up strong. The peace between the Volteri and humans was uneasy. Both sides feared a return to war. Trade routes opened slowly, and ambassadors met with guarded smiles. Technology was exchanged, but so were secrets. Zirala worked hard to build bridges between the two species. She believed that understanding and respect could prevent future bloodshed. But she also knew there were those who wanted the old rivalries to continue. One day, a secret message arrived for Zerala. It was from a human official, offering a private meeting. The note mentioned a soldier who had once saved her life, a man named Aaron Carter. The princess's heart raced. Could this be the chance to find him? To finally meet the human who changed her fate? Zerala smiled softly. The search was over. Soon, the past and future would collide, and the galaxy might never be the same. The peace between the Valteri Empire and humanity was fragile, like a thin glass about to break. Hidden dangers lurked in the shadows. Rogue groups on both sides did not want harmony. They spread lies and stirred trouble, hoping to bring back the chaos of war. Princess Zerala sensed the growing threat. Reports reached her palace of attacks on trade ships and secret meetings between enemies. The delicate trust was breaking. Her advisors urged caution, but she knew waiting would only make things worse. Late one night, Zerala sat in her chambers, studying the message from the human official. The note spoke of Aaron Carter, the soldier who had saved her years ago. It also warned of danger, an underground faction plotting to destroy the peace. Zerala's heart beat faster. She remembered the brave human's face clearly. He was her only hope. She called her closest council members. "We must find Aaron Carter," she said firmly. "If anyone can help us stop this threat, it is him." Her advisors worried. "Princess, the rogue groups are powerful and secretive. This is dangerous." Zerala nodded. "I understand, but we cannot stand by. We must act before war breaks out again." Meanwhile, far from Valtera, Captain Aaron Carter received the princess's secret message. It came through a trusted human diplomat, wrapped in layers of encryption. Aaron was surprised, but also curious. He had long thought about the alien girl he saved, wondering what happened to her. The message was clear. "We need your help to stop a new war." Aaron hesitated. The years had changed him. War had left scars, and he often questioned his place. But the princess's words stirred something deep inside, hope and duty. He packed his belongings, prepared his ship, and set course for Valtera. Back on Valtera, Zerala prepared for his arrival. The palace buzzed with whispers. Some welcomed the human soldier as a hero, others feared he might bring trouble. The princess stood tall, ready to face whatever came. The day Aaron arrived, the skies over the capital glowed with strange colors from alien suns. Zerala met him at the landing bay. Their eyes met, and the years between them felt smaller. "Captain Carter," she said with a calm smile, "thank you for coming." Aaron nodded. "Princess Zerala, it is an honor." But both knew their reunion was only the beginning. Together, they would face the growing darkness, a shadow war threatening to destroy the fragile peace and plunge the galaxy back into chaos. The grand hall of the Valteri Palace shimmered with light from crystal chandeliers. Princess Zerala stood before her council, dressed in royal blue robes. The air was thick with tension as all eyes turned to the door. It opened slowly, and in walked Captain Aaron Carter, the human soldier who had saved her years ago. Aaron looked around, feeling the weight of many curious stares. The palace was unlike any place he had seen, filled with strange shapes and colors. Yet he held his head high, determined to help. Zerala stepped forward, her expression calm but hopeful. "Captain Carter, welcome back to Valtera." Aaron nodded respectfully. "Thank you, Princess. I came as soon as I received your message." The council members whispered among themselves. Some were skeptical, others watched with quiet interest. Not everyone trusted a human to walk these halls again. Zerala guided Aaron to a private chamber where they could speak freely. "I am glad you came," she said. "We face threats from those who want to destroy peace between our worlds. Rogue factions seek to restart the war." Aaron listened carefully. "I understand. These groups are dangerous, but we can stop them if we work together." Zerala smiled slightly. "I hope so. Your courage as a soldier saved my life once. Now, I ask for your help again, not just as a warrior, but as a friend." Aaron's eyes softened. "I never forgot that day. You gave me hope when I thought all was lost." As days passed, Aaron adapted to life at the palace. His straightforward manner and honesty were different from the usual court politics. Some found him refreshing, others suspicious. One day, during a meeting, a council member whispered, "How can we trust a human with our secrets?" Zarella overheard and stood firm. "Trust is built, not given. Aaron has proven himself. He is not here to conquer but to protect." Aaron and Zarella spent long hours planning. They studied reports of suspicious activities and shared ideas. Their teamwork grew stronger with each passing day. At night, they would walk under the twin moons, talking quietly about their past and dreams for the future. Though their worlds were different, they found understanding in each other. Yet, danger was near. The rogue factions moved quickly, and Zarella knew time was short. She looked at Aaron and said, "We must be ready. The future of the Volteri and humanity depends on us." Aaron nodded. "Then we fight together." Together, the princess and the human soldier prepared to face the coming storm. The palace halls buzzed with quiet conversations and watchful eyes. Captain Aaron Carter, the human soldier, had quickly become a topic of interest and suspicion among the Volteri nobles. His straightforward ways and blunt speech unsettled many, but some admired his bravery and honesty. Princess Zarella stood beside him during a council meeting, her voice steady as she defended his presence. "Aaron Carter has proven his loyalty to Volterra. He is here to help protect our future." A high-ranking noble, Lord Vecren, narrowed his eyes. "A human. How can we trust someone from the species that once tried to destroy us?" Aaron met Vecren's gaze without fear. "I'm not here to fight old wars. I'm here because I believe peace is possible." The room fell silent. Some nobles whispered doubts, others showed respect for Aaron's courage. Later, in the palace gardens, Aaron walked with Zarella. The stars twinkled above, and the air was cool and calm. Yet danger lurked beneath the surface. "Some of your council fear me," Aaron said quietly. "They see me as a threat." Zarella looked at him with determination. "They fear change, but you have qualities they lack: honesty, courage, and a willingness to stand for what is right." Aaron smiled faintly. "Thank you, Princess. It means more than you know." Their conversation was interrupted by a messenger. "Your Highness, suspicious activity has been reported near the outer colonies." Zarella's face hardened. "They are moving faster than we thought." Aaron nodded. "We must act quickly before they strike." That night, Aaron met with trusted allies. Together, they planned a way to expose the traitors within the Empire, those who sought to break the peace and return to war. The plan was risky. It required careful timing and secrecy. Aaron's experience as a soldier proved invaluable. He taught the Volteri guards new tactics, blending human strategy with alien technology. Meanwhile, rumors about the princess and the human soldier spread through the palace. Some nobles whispered of a possible alliance, one that could change the balance of power forever. Zarella ignored the gossip. Her focus was on protecting her people and the fragile peace she had fought so hard to build. As days passed, Aaron and Zarella grew closer. They shared stories of their childhoods, their dreams, and their fears. Their bond became stronger, built on trust and respect. One evening, under the glow of the twin moons, Zarella said softly, "You are more than a soldier to me, Aaron. You are a friend I can count on." Aaron looked at her and replied, "And you are the strongest leader I have ever met." Together, they prepared to face the enemies within, those who wished to tear apart the future they both dreamed of. The battle for peace was just beginning. The palace grew quiet as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with deep oranges and purples. Inside, Princess Zarella and Captain Aaron Carter sat across from each other in the strategy room. Maps and data screens spread out before them. The threat was clear. Rogue factions were planning something dangerous, and time was running out. Aaron traced a finger along a route on the map. This is where their base might be. They want to start attacks on key supply lines to spark a war. Zirala nodded thoughtfully. We must stop them before the first strike. They had only recently begun working together, but their teamwork was already strong. Aaron's experience in combat and tactics complemented Zirala's deep knowledge of her people and politics. Despite their differences, a bond of trust grew between them. Zirala admired Aaron's courage and simple honesty, while Aaron respected Zirala's wisdom and strength. Their alliance surprised many in the court. Some still whispered doubts about trusting a human, but the princess was firm. Aaron is not just a soldier. He is a symbol of what we can achieve together. One evening, as they planned their next move, Zirala asked, "Why did you really save me all those years ago?" Aaron looked away for a moment, his eyes distant. "I don't know. Maybe because I saw a scared child who deserved better. I couldn't leave you behind." Zirala smiled softly. "That kindness changed my life." Suddenly, an alarm blared through the palace. Guards rushed in, their faces tense. "Princess, Captain, there's been an attack near the outer colonies." "It's them." Without hesitation, Zirala and Aaron stood. "Gather the forces," Aaron ordered. "We must act fast." The two leaders moved quickly, coordinating defenses and sending messages. Their combined efforts rallied the people, and the rogue forces were pushed back. After the battle, as the dust settled, Zirala found Aaron watching the stars from a balcony. "You saved many lives today," she said quietly. Aaron shrugged. "I'm just doing what's right." Zirala placed a hand on his shoulder. "You've become more than a protector. You're my partner." The word hung in the air, heavy with meaning. Aaron looked at her, surprised but happy. "I never expected this, but I'm honored." The days ahead would be full of challenges. The rogue factions were still out there, plotting. But with their unlikely alliance, Zirala and Aaron knew they stood a better chance to bring peace to their worlds. Together, they would fight not just for survival, but for a future where humans and Valteri could live side by side. Stronger, united, and hopeful. The deeper they dug, the clearer the danger became. Princess Zirala and Captain Aaron Carter discovered that the threat to peace was more than just rogue factions. It was a carefully planned conspiracy led by a powerful noble named Lord Carell. He wanted war to return so he could gain control of the Empire's military. In a secret chamber beneath the palace, Zirala and Aaron studied stolen documents that revealed the plan. An attack on the capital itself, disguised as a human assault. The goal was to make the Valteri people believe humanity had betrayed them, sparking a full-scale war. "We must stop this," Zirala said firmly. "If the people believe the lies, there will be no turning back." Aaron clenched his fists. "We need to act fast and quietly. If Carell suspects we know, he'll move his pieces before we can stop him." They decided to gather a small, trusted team for a covert mission to expose Lord Carell and his followers. It was dangerous. They risked being caught and branded traitors. As they prepared, the bond between Zirala and Aaron grew stronger. Late at night, under the twin moons, they shared stories of their pasts, the hardships they faced, the hopes they held. There was a quiet understanding between them, more than just partnership. "Zirala," Aaron said softly one evening, "you carry the weight of your people on your shoulders, but you don't have to do it alone." She looked at him, her eyes shining. "With you by my side, I feel stronger." The next day, their team moved under cover of darkness. They navigated hidden tunnels and secret passages beneath the palace, avoiding patrols and security systems. Every step was tense, every sound a potential threat. They found evidence, letters, weapon shipments, coded messages, all proof of Lord Carell's plot. But just as they prepared to leave, a shadow moved behind them. Guards had found them. A fierce fight broke out in the narrow corridor. Aaron's combat skills and Zerala's quick thinking kept them alive as they fought their way to freedom. Breathless and injured, they returned to the princess's chambers. "We have the proof," Aaron said, holding up the documents. "Now it's time to show the council." Zerala nodded. "We must act before Lord Carroll can turn the Empire against humanity." The stage was set for a confrontation that could change everything. The princess and the human soldier faced a choice: expose the traitor and risk war, or stay silent and let the darkness consume them all. Together, they would fight for truth and for the future of their two worlds. The grand hall was filled with tension as Princess Zerala stood before the council, clutching the evidence that exposed Lord Carroll's treachery. The nobles whispered nervously. Some refused to believe that one of their own could betray them. Others looked toward the princess and Aaron with hope. Aaron stood beside Zerala, his face calm but determined. "The peace between our peoples is at risk," he said. "We have proof that Lord Carroll plans to start a war by blaming humanity." Lord Carroll's expression darkened, but he quickly recovered, denying all accusations with a practiced smile. The council debated fiercely, some siding with Carroll, others with the princess. Suddenly, a commotion erupted near the doors. Guards rushed in, shouting that an attack was underway on the palace itself. The traitors had launched their first strike. Without hesitation, Aaron and Zerala rushed to the battle. Aaron fought bravely, leading the palace guards with skill and courage. But during the chaos, he was injured defending Zerala from a surprise attack. The princess refused to leave his side. "Hold on, Aaron," she pleaded, helping him to safety. Her voice was steady, but her eyes betrayed worry. As the battle raged, Zerala took command, inspiring her people with words of hope and unity. "We fight not just for ourselves, but for a future where humans and Valteri stand together." Her speech rallied the defenders, and the attackers were pushed back. The traitors were captured or pulled into the shadows. Aaron, though wounded, smiled weakly at Zerala. "We did it, together." Zerala squeezed his hand. "Your courage saved us all." In the quiet after the storm, the princess made a bold decision. She would offer Aaron an important place by her side, not just as a soldier, but as a partner in leading the empire. News of their victory and alliance spread quickly. Many were inspired by the unity of the human soldier and the Valteri princess. The people began to believe that peace was possible. Aaron's recovery was slow, but Zerala stayed by his side, tending to his wounds and sharing quiet moments under the stars. Their bond grew deeper, no longer just about duty, but about trust and something more. The shadows of war had threatened to tear them apart, but through sacrifice and bravery, they had triumphed. A new chapter was beginning, one of hope, partnership, and a future where two worlds could become one. The palace was alive with whispers and excitement. After the recent battle and the defeat of the traitors, Princess Zerala knew the time had come for a bold step. The people looked to her for leadership, and she had made a decision that could change everything. In the great throne room, under glowing crystal lights, Zerala stood tall and confident. Beside her stood Captain Aaron Carter, the human soldier who had saved her as a child, and now fought beside her as an equal. The council and nobles gathered, some still wary, others hopeful. Zerala raised her hand for silence. "Aaron Carter has proven his loyalty, bravery, and wisdom," she said clearly. "He saved me once, and he has saved our empire from darkness again. Today, I offer him the title of King Consort to rule beside me." A hush fell over the room. The idea of a human king shocked many. Some whispered objections, but Zerala's voice was firm. "This is not just a title. It is a symbol of unity between our worlds. Aaron and I will lead together, as partners, to build a future of peace and hope." Aaron looked at Zerala with surprise and respect. "Princess, I am honored beyond words. I accept, not for power, but to serve the people and stand by your side." The nobles debated, but many saw the wisdom in Zerala's decision. The empire was changing, and the old fears had to be left behind. Outside the palace, the citizens cheered. Banners flew with both Volteri and human symbols, celebrating a new era. In private, Zarella and Aaron spoke quietly. "This is only the beginning," she said. "There will be challenges, but together, we can face anything." Aaron nodded. "I am ready." Their partnership was more than politics. It was a promise to each other and to their people. As the sun set, casting golden light across the city, the future seemed brighter than ever. The princess and the human soldier, once strangers from different worlds, were now leaders united in hope. The day of the coronation dawned bright and clear. The twin suns of Volterra shone warmly over the capital city, bathing the palace in golden light. Citizens from all corners of the empire gathered in the grand square, their faces filled with hope and curiosity. Today was a day unlike any other. The day when Princess Zarella would crown Aaron Carter, the human soldier, as king consort. Inside the palace, Zarella dressed in her royal robes, her heart steady but full of emotion. She glanced at Aaron, who was preparing for the ceremony with quiet determination. He was no longer just the brave soldier who had saved her. He was her partner, her equal. As they stepped onto the balcony overlooking the crowd, a wave of cheers erupted. People shouted their support, waving flags of both the Volteri and humans. The unity was clear, a shining symbol of peace in a galaxy once torn by war. The ceremony began with ancient rituals honoring the history of Volterra. Zarella spoke with grace, promising to lead with wisdom and strength. When it was Aaron's turn, he knelt before her, and she placed the jeweled crown upon his head. The moment felt like a bridge between two worlds, a promise that they would face the future together. Aaron looked out at the crowd and raised his hand in a salute, not as a conqueror, but as a guardian. Later, in the palace gardens, Zarella and Aaron stood beneath the stars, speaking softly. "We've come so far," Zarella said, her eyes shining. "From that day when you saved me as a child, to now, rulers of a new era." Aaron smiled. "I never imagined this path. But with you, I believe anything is possible." Their bond was stronger than ever, built on trust, courage, and respect. Together, they would guide the Volteri and humans toward a future filled with hope. The galaxy watched as the two leaders united their peoples, exploring new worlds and forging new alliances. Under their rule, old fears began to fade, replaced by friendship and cooperation. Zarella and Aaron proved that even the greatest differences could be overcome when hearts and minds worked as one. The story of the alien princess and the human soldier became a legend, a reminder that kindness and bravery could change the fate of worlds. And so, a new era began, where two species stood side by side, stronger together, reaching for the stars.